So Jacob Elordi has been secretly dating Kendall Jenner for months, and when his inner circle finally explained why he kept it so quiet, I genuinely could not believe what I was reading, because it is not what you think. Stay with me. Okay, so let's back up. Coachella 2026, first weekend. Jacob Elordi and Kendall Jenner are spotted at a private after party, and not just at the party. At the party, together, being very close, very comfortable, very much not trying to be seen. And here's the thing, this wasn't a coincidence. Sources told People that the two had been, quote, hanging out and getting to know each other for the last couple of months. Months. Before Coachella. Before any of us knew anything. So while we were out here living our normal lives, Jacob Elordi and Kendall Jenner were quietly becoming a thing, and nobody said a word. Now, okay, Jacob Elordi keeping things private? Not surprising. This is the man who has never once publicly confirmed a relationship without being photographed into a corner. He dated Zendaya, denied it. He dated Kaya Gerber, barely acknowledged it. He dated Olivia Jade, and that one just kind of faded out. So the privacy thing? Fine, we know who he is. But here is where it gets interesting. Because sources close to Jacob, people who actually know him, didn't say he kept it quiet for privacy. They said he kept it quiet because, and I need you to hear this, he genuinely didn't want to be associated with the Kardashian-Jenner world. Like, ideologically, he didn't want the association. Okay, so here's exactly what a source told OK Magazine, and I'm going to read this carefully because every word matters. They said, Jacob has a, quote, real disdain for the whole reality television scene. He sees himself as part of the artistic side of Hollywood, literature, film, character work, and he doesn't want to be, quote, lumped into that glossy, influencer-driven world. And then, another source said this, and this is the part that sent me. Jacob reads constantly and talks about philosophy and filmmaking. Sometimes Kendall jokes that he'd rather quote Nietzsche than take a selfie. She's joking about it. Which means she knows. She is fully aware that this man looks at her world and goes, yeah, not for me. And she's still there. And I have so many questions. Like, is that charming? Is that a red flag? Is Kendall Jenner out here collecting men who make her feel like she needs to prove herself? Because if so, girl, we need to talk. Okay, I want to be fair here because I genuinely don't know how I feel about this. Team Jacob argument. Keeping your private life out of the tabloid machine is actually smart. Look at Tom Holland and Zendaya. They basically went underground for 2 years and came out the other side with their relationship completely intact. Jacob might just be protecting something real. Team Kendall argument. She is a 30-year-old woman who has built an empire, who has dated some of the most high-profile men in the world, who doesn't need anyone's intellectual approval. If he's with her, he's with all of her family, her world, her brand. You don't get to pick and choose. And then there's the third option, which nobody wants to say out loud. What if he actually is kind of pretentious about it, and Kendall thinks it's attractive because she spent her whole life around people who only care about the aesthetic, and here's someone who at least pretends to care about something deeper? Drop your take in the comments because I genuinely cannot decide. The twist. But wait, because I haven't even gotten to the most chaotic part of this whole situation. Olivia Jade. Jacob and Olivia Jade Giannulli, yes, Lori Loughlin's daughter, the college admissions scandal family, were together on and off for years, and sources are now saying they are, quote, so done. So done. Present tense. Very recently done. And I'm sitting here thinking, Olivia Jade, who grew up in the influencer world, who is the thing Jacob says he doesn't want, was apparently good enough for years. But Kendall Jenner, the most famous model on the planet, needs to be kept secret because of optics? Make it make sense. I'll wait, unless, and this is just a theory, unless Jacob has changed. Unless something about Kendall specifically made him want to try. And maybe that's actually the most interesting version of this story. Here's what I keep coming back to though. Kendall Jenner has dated Bad Bunny, Devin Booker, Ben Simmons, Harry Styles, allegedly. These are not small personalities. She is not someone who needs to fight for a man's attention or approval. And yet, sources close to her say she likes that Jacob is intense and serious. She finds it attractive. She's not bothered by the philosophy talks or the lack of selfies. So maybe this isn't the story of a guy who thinks he's too good for his girlfriend. Maybe this is the story of a woman who, for the first time in a while, is genuinely intrigued by someone who isn't performing for the camera. Or maybe I'm being generous and he's just kind of a lot. Both things can be true. Okay, but I need to know where you stand on this. Are you Team Jacob? Team Kendall? Or are you firmly on Team Olivia Jade, who watched this whole thing happen and said absolutely nothing? Comment below because I'm reading every single one. And if you have receipts, drop them because this story is not over.